Welcome to Let the Madness Begin. We're Coleman by Sean Taylor. I am working on my album. The album is called FU, and it's a tribute
Okay.
to old school rap. Yes. The number one single is going to be Slap You. I'll have Lil Jon on it.
Yeah. Okay.
That's going to be dope.
Okay.
Yeah. And then I got Joe Button for a feature. That's what's up. Joe Button's going to be featured. Got Buttons on it.
What's the song gonna be called? Out the closet.
Why I gotta be called that?
I'm saying, man.
But it's called Living Our Best Life.
In the closet.
No.
Outside the closet.
That man on islands with beautiful women.
In
That man got y'all thinking he bisexual. He's not.
He's curious. He's binary, bisexual, by something. So he said, "What's wrong with finding a man attractive and handsome?"
He's a troll. He's one of the biggest trolls on, and like he does that on purpose to keep people.
So my
engaged.
son, you also be said you very handsome and attractive, and he kisses you on your neck. What's that?
First off, why we go from he'll tell me I'm handsome, attractive to now he's kissing me on my neck. That's different. If he walked up to me and said, "Yo, you're a handsome young man," I'll be like, "Thank you."
Okay, he give you the good game slap.
And he violated me.
Then he grab, this is a grab and rub.
That's different. That's different.
Okay. Just wanna make sure.
Oh man, so how's your day?
Other than my allergies, I'm good, man.
That's what's up. That's what's up. So, what in the world? That's what I gave the title. What in
Okay,
the world?
yeah, I see what in the world.
So, what in the world? Violence.
Yeah.
School shootings,
Hospital shootings. Yeah.
hospital shootings, store shootings.
Yeah.
What's your take on it? Do you think it's increasing, or has this always been? The information is just producing more.
No, I don't think it's always been happening. It's happening more frequently now. It's more of a thing of it's not a norm, but it's one of unexpected. It's a not a regular norm, but an unexpected norm. It's one of those things where now it's to the point. It's been almost some kind of shooting, at least since this year started. Every month, you look at it, just about every month, there's always been some kind of shooting. Last year, maybe every other month. So yeah, it's starting. It's a horrible trend. Yeah, I do. I hate to say it's that's a pattern, but if you really don't plan these kind of things, but you need to go at least a month with something tragic happening with a handgun or some kind of firearm. Say
Okay.
that way. You know.
So it's interesting. So I think yesterday me and Monica was talking, and she said, maybe we should put National Guard in school.
Ooh.
And I was like, no. She was like, well, to protect the children. I was like, I understand that, but how would it feel to have a child
That's
go to school with the National Guard there? And she would say, safe. I said, okay, but we already have police there. So you're saying that the police can you want more of a trained killer at the school.
yeah, and that's because that's going from what do you call it? That's going from what do you call it? The rules of engagement is different. Yeah,
Right.
that's going from straight to warn you to straight
Yeah.
kill a shot. I understand. Yeah, I can see that.
And
I can
then,
see what she says. You think about it, but go ahead.
and at first I said no. Then I said, you know what? Because her next response is, I don't know anymore. And I said, you know what? That's the thing right now. I think we don't know how to proceed forward. However, I'm here to tell y'all that it's not happening as frequently as people think. It actually was worse. And the reason why I can say that is because I have a history book that tells me that white people been killing black kids for a long period of time. mass murders.
But I mean,
Let's not
yeah,
forget they blew up a church.
yeah.
Let's not
And
forget if you whistled at a white
but
woman.
but now you gotta look at it, and not look just from a white or black perspective. I think more now it's more of a thing of anyone's a target. But now
That
it's
scares white people
right. Yeah.
because now they're not the
Yeah,
ones
anybody can get
behind the
something.
trigger, and that scares them.
Right.
However, this is your own creation because you made it okay to kill. You, as America, made it okay to kill. You already, those seeds of killing was planted long before any of these people picked up a gun. And that's the problem right now America's having. It's the fact that they
No,
planted.
you might need to explain that a little bit more.
So,
to understand.
America has always denied minorities
Okay.
to the point that they were killing our seeds.
Okay.
That's nothing new. Slavery does kill off. Jim Crow does kill off. During certain points, they would be killing off children, male children, and now you have a situation where you have done it so much that these people who are your children, because most of the people who are doing these mass murders, except for a few, are white. They're desensitized because you already told them it's okay to kill.
I wouldn't say
you take
I
them
wouldn't
out.
say they're desensitized. It's just I think it's to the point now where so much is desensitized is part of it. I ain't gonna say it's not. It's part of it. But I think one of it is the consequences aren't as exercised as it would be if it were yourself, the gentleman who did the killing in Texas. Um, I think because for instance, like I got to see what you're getting at. Because for instance, the killing here in Charleston, in the church at the Manuel Church, you know, the guy looked at it as it was a call to arms to do what he did, to call others to arms. Now, mind you, and I'm gonna tell this to anybody, you're always taught right from wrong. Now, how it's conceptualized in your family is another thing.
I got something for that.
You know,
And I'm
well,
gonna tell you.
let me. So, and I'm not trying to justify it, but I think a lot of times we often, like you said, romanticize it and it desensitizes it to the point where people are quick to sit there and not consider the actual consequences. And and the thing it always gets me is and everybody's always made this observation. Always the certain ones they manage to live or let live or survive. Others they manage to kill or they manage to kill themselves. See what you need to say, bro.
I got something for that one too. I got the conspiracy theory for that one. The reason why it's justified is because the church has allowed it to be justified. Remember, a lot of these killings and stuff, especially if we go back to American history, was done under the umbrella of the church.
Hmm.
If I'm lying, call me on it. But
I wouldn't say the umbrella, but we'll go with umbrella
the
right
church,
now.
the church has either condoned it or turned a blind eye to it when it was done. Remember,
They justified it. So we'll say that fly eye, they justified it because you think about it, even before the African slaves came, the Native Americans, it was like, oh, we showing these heathens the right way of life, not knowing that people don't realize the history of a lot of European countries are not straight clean. It's not that straight clean. Hey, this is England. This is no. So y'all over here decide to go over here and take over some people. Y'all mix and match them a little bit, and then some people from another area come on down here and mix and match. And then y'all went over to another place and mix and match. So I mean, yeah. But
so with that, sometimes that's how stuff is justified. Even if you look at the Aryan Nation and even the these other hateful groups that some of these guys go on to these.
But they say they don't hate. They don't hate black people. They just don't like us to be intermingled. They
And their religion tells them
They're
that
not
they're
racist.
the superior race and
They're
everything.
not racist.
No, you're right.
They're not prejudiced. They just don't want us to be involved with one another. They feel like they should have their peace. We should have our peace.
So long they go back to England.
That wouldn't work. Same reason why we can't just go back to Africa.
No, but they can go back to England. We can't go back to Africa because we don't know what country in Africa to go back to. However, they could go back to
How are
England,
they gonna do that?
get on the boat.
Not everybody came from England, my son.
All right, you're right. Some over Vikings who were nastier.
Yeah.
Go back to Greenland.
Not everybody from England or Iceland or
Go back
Greenland,
to Scotland.
Scotland.
Go back to
You
Germany.
said UK. Hey, you might be right. There's a little bit of everywhere. Like I told you, if you know the history of Europe, like everybody is just kind of
Yeah.
pretty much everybody, and they don't understand it. So I mean, it's just like the history of between the history of Germany and France alone is interesting. So
The second part to what you said is what I find interesting. And I don't know if I'm subscribed to this theory or not, but I will say that it does make me wonder what part the government plays in this.
I mean, you think about it. So like you watch Cujo, and it's sort of like the thing where, oh, okay, this mad dog running around shooting, killing people. He so happened to be black or whatever. We put him down. We're here to save you.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's pretty much, and I think it's what you're thinking. So I mean, I'm just guessing.
That not even
You're safe now, but I killed the angry black man, went around with Andrews
Right.
or whatever.
and it's weird how certain things happen. How it plays out. And I think that's the part that makes me subscribe to is the bigger is some we're not seeing. You just don't wake up and want to do certain things.
No, it's always a well thought out.
So if I take the school incident,
No, that was no. Go ahead, finish what you're saying.
if I take the school incident and I'm looking at it like, okay, you happen to apparently you killed your grandmother the day or night before.
he didn't kill her.
He shot her.
He shot her.
Okay.
I'm not sure if she's. The last time I read, she was in intensive care, but like I said, no telling she lived past. She did. It was real bad. But you know the reason why he supposedly shot her?
Mm-hmm.
He wasn't going to graduate on time.
Oh. That was her fault.
That is where, yeah.
Cool. I mean,
But the thing was that actually wasn't planned. Wherever he was planning to go, he didn't make it there because he was outside of his house shooting. He managed to get in his vehicle and drive far enough to crash in front of an elementary school, and then instead of going elsewhere, he runs up in elementary school. Which I don't understand. What all them cops, now mind you, they said all this time now they're shooting at him
and they don't hit it.
and they don't hit him.
So I'm wondering when stuff happens, is the government involved? I'm not gonna lie to you. I do wonder because certain things play out weird. Like things happen at certain times, political year, certain
Right.
things happen. All of a sudden now we want to do more gun control and everything.
So-
because all everybody's still
Okay.
with AR-15.
So let's play the theory game real quick for a quick few minutes here. So the question is who the government is. Okay, so the government, those involved. What is the facilitator for such a thing to happen? And like I said, because you think about it, these things are supposedly random at times. How can they make such a thing happen?
So, great question.
Like I said, we're playing conspiracy
Right.
theory, so let's make sure.
Right.
Like I said, hey, I'm not you open all your doors. So
Let's look at the usual suspect.
okay,
That AR-15 is the usual suspects in these shootings.
okay. And the cat thing that sold it happens to be in Georgia.
Those things aren't coincidence.
Right. And I didn't know that. Crazy with fact, I used to pass by that factory a few times, and I know where the factory's at.
Oh, wow.
That makes it. Yeah, I was wondering what it was because the was let me say the name of the company is called Dames Defense, and the factory sits like off of I-16, like in the middle between Savannah and I want to say Savannah. Let's just say Savannah and Statesboro or Macon, that direction. So, but go ahead.
So the usual suspects AR-15, that's already a hot topic with people.
Right.
Um, and it's usually done with children.
Mm-hmm.
That's the other hot topic.
Mm-hmm.
And I know people are like, wait a second, you're not making sense because they just did a shooting at the store. Who cares about that shooting? Nobody. However, we paying more attention to want to do gun control when it's children. Think about what I just said.
Why are children?
Like,
It's off target.
they say number one, always follow the money, and number two, always know who benefits from it. If I'm the government, I benefit from it because if I get gun control past what the government won't, who's one of the biggest lobbyists? The NRA.
Mm.
How would they lobby and by politicians now if gun control is in play? It lessens their grip on politics.
Mm.
It also gives the government more control on tracking us.
Okay.
It gives the government more control on tracking. Who else benefits from it? The police.
Mm.
Now they budget go up.
Mm.
So it's not far fetched to say, wait a second, something's not right. How is it that we didn't have the same talk about gun control when he went up into the stores? Number one, because
He's in a black neighborhood.
in the black neighborhood. We're gonna talk about some because y'all ain't paying attention. Y'all, we been.
Let's say not necessarily a black neighborhood. It was frequented by a lot of black customers.
Right. So nobody cares about that. He used the semi-automatic weapon and everything too. Nobody cares about that. However, because it was children, they're always pushing that narrative. Oh my God, protecting the kids. But we talking about something. It is true.
Hey, let's keep going.
So we have this thing where when it's children, all of a sudden, not our children, white children, and we all of a sudden we have to go hard at doing these things. So I do believe that it is. We already have police in schools.
True. What they called
Resource officer. I can't get into my daughter's school without going through the office. I can't even get through the office because the doors are locked. This is Texas. Texas is going to have doors locked. So you just having to pick the one school that doesn't lock their doors. The one school who resource officer was slow to the trigger. You happen to pick the one school that just doesn't have this active security. What's the answer to that?
Hey.
Now, mind you, I can see once you may have got on campus, but you shouldn't have far.
With the police firing on it.
So I do believe that these things are interesting.
Okay.
I think it would be an interesting case study. Because now everybody goes to gun control. And first off, white celebrities, y'all piss me off. And black celebrities that follow white celebrities, y'all piss me off. Oh my God, we have to get rid of the gun. Without the guns, people wouldn't die. No, people still die. You just have a lot of stabbing.
Yeah, stabbing, strangling.
People were dying in the 1920s. Guns wasn't always around. They were still getting that. People die in prison. They getting the shivs. Stop listening to these white people, man. White celebrities are the devil. They just make up stuff. Oh my God, you just got this. No, how about this? Because if that's true, then why they have security with guns? But y'all ain't getting that. Y'all ain't paying attention to that. Y'all silly. But yeah, I don't know how to fix it because I think it's an entity that's bigger than us. And honestly, I think we will remake these that beast.
Well, I mean, when you think about it, we did have a gun law when it ran out that Bill Clinton put into play, the ban on semi-autos. You remember it ran out during, unfortunately, during the Obama. Uh, well, it was, am I right? It was during, no, it was George Bush, George Jr.
But yeah, but it never got renewed.
It got renewed. I think, like I said, if I'm wrong, quote me. It's either between the Obama administration or the second term of George W. I can't remember. Yeah,
Dub.
yeah, at one time, but yeah, and that was an excellent. Like I said, it didn't necessarily stop, but at the same time, it discouraged. And people don't understand about how laws work. Laws not gonna prevent you from. It's not gonna prevent you from doing a crime. It's just you know it's legal. That there's consequences, supposed to be consequences for doing these things that are against the rules. That's what rules for. Let you know that hey, what you can and can't do. You know, you do this, you get detention. Hey, you get this, you get suspended. Hey, this extreme, we just expel you, kick you out for the remainder of the year out of the school district. You know,
So I have a question for you.
but,
In every case, to include the white kid that pretended to be a police officer, oh, he was EMT.
EMT, yeah,
And had his semi-automatic. They were legal weapons.
they were legal.
Legal.
Yeah, but no, what the weapon was itself legal, but he was in possession illegally. He was supposed to think about it. It wasn't his weapon. He wasn't old enough. He wasn't old enough in that state to possess that weapon.
So I'm glad you brought that up because it goes back to my original thing. You done desensitized these kids because you
Right.
take them hunting.
Right, because
You bought these guns for these kids. White people take their kids. I keep trying to tell you, black people, we're different. You take your kids shoe shopping. They take their kids. They got their little girls out there shooting bucks.
yeah,
Yeah. They already got the Smith and Wesson while you sitting up there talking about, oh, I got these, especially in the South. The white girls know how to shoot because they fathers take them out there and they be shooting bucks and they be shooting stuff and then they go to their clan meetings. I'm just making that part up, maybe. But you got they know how to handle a weapon down here.
yeah. And I think that's part of the issue too, as well. I think, and not just necessarily these killings, it's just anything. Is those a lot of times people not properly handling because this accidental killings come in, you know, these and stuff. Because it's like if you're not trained to handle, and that's the thing I don't like about when you run around, you're saying that you know you're a killer, you run around with guns in your pocket, but you don't know how to handle yourself properly when it comes to that weapon. You just do what you see on TV. They see what you're doing on a video game.
I look cool with it in my pants like this.
You know, and that's another thing I think we like you said, well, how to curve on. Learn to properly handle the handgun. Be properly licensed and permit to carry with them things on it, you know. And I think it's more with kids they do it because it's a fad, it's a thing to do. But at the same time, it's the difference between and about what I'm about to say is gonna sound kind of wrong, but it's cool to go. It's different between officers, service members, and civilians handling weapons. Period. It's a totally different. Their mind frames are totally different. You know, in a sense, it's a defense for the civilian. You know, supposed to be a security, I think a defense. For us as soldiers and servicemen, you know, it's a defense slash defense thing, offense slash defense thing, you know. And in a sense, the rules of engagement are different as opposed to the police officers. It's sort of the same, but their rules are a little different, but their rules of engagement are sort of different as well. So, and I think people get it mixed up that, you know, no, it's all a level playing field. No, sir. No. It's not the same. Not the same. So regardless if you're a civilian, you learn how to handle yourself. Just keep in mind it's totally different from how an officer or a service member handles himself when it comes to that weapon. So that's one thing. Like I said, another thing, properly permitted and licensed to carry. Period. Whether it's out in the open, concealed, or whatever. That's another thing. 3, you shouldn't have a whole arsenal unless you know your life is in that kind of danger. If your life is in that kind of danger, then you need to change your life. No, come on, look at me, partner. Look at me now. Come on. Now listen to me now. And this is what I'm saying. Now there's gun collectors. There's collectors. There's difference between collectors. There's people I know that they all day every day. There's people that got guns just because. There's people that go buy a Desert Eagle because it looks pretty.
Okay, now that's different because
That's what I'm talking about. Those people, you know what I'm saying? They go buy the AK-47 because they have the output. They know it shoots any and everything. The output and
you have a lot, and Desert Eagles are not as good also too. So
that's shit. It kicks like if you don't know how to handle it, you're gonna tear your wrist up and your shoulder. So you might jump out your hand. So that's some people I'm talking about. Those, that look fancy, look pretty with the gun in their hand. They post them on TikTok or they post them on Facebook, and you know what I'm saying? They on the gram, on the chat, the snap, the little snap thing, whatever.
It's gonna do with this.
Right. You do it outfit,
yeah. Like it don't be able to do the tech now with it stick.
Right. That sort of deal, man. And that's what I'm talking about. Like I said, this gun, like I said, those people I'm talking about collectors, they actually respect, they doing.
Right.
It's not necessarily they know how to handle it. It's more like, hey, if it comes to it, I know what I need to go to.
Right. I'm with you on
that's what I'm talking about. So those people, those are, oh yeah, I got this because I saw this on Menace to Society, and and I thought about my man, I had to give me one.
And that's Friday,
right. Or you never actually you went to buy, and the thing about they do go to the school, get the permit, the little class, take it up, but they may have fired it when they took the course, but they don't go fire it since. So like I said, if you're not practicing,
it's different.
It's, you know what I'm saying? As opposed to us, it's instinctive to us to pick up and get real. It's more or less riding a bike, So
I agree.
But
so we'll switch it up.
Switch it up, man. It's nice little chat, man.
So,
but overall, but back to the whole. I'm sorry. Let's end it on the thing what you said with Monica and with your wife. Said about the whole National Guard thing. And if it gets that serious, if it gets to that extreme, then we got a lot of soul searching to do. And it's not it's not a bad idea, but at the same time, it's like you're taking you're going from using a hammer to a mallet to a sledgehammer.
What that's the plan?
Like I said,
that's what I said. I think we're in a situation
I had this talk before. Let me put it this way: there's reasons why there are militias that there are militias that there are in this nation of ours. There are groups they're armed and ready, and those of us that need to be ready, and there's some of us that need to stay ready, and some of us need you behind, you need to get ready. So I did that.
Yeah, I agree with you.
So let's move on to the next thing.
So before we touch on one topic, so our favorite boss chick, Monique, out here wilding in these streets. And it's actually a two-part thing.
Okay.
One of them is dealing with Monique. Are you familiar with the
situation with I've heard of this.
Yeah, so she went on stage, blasting them, made references what DL stands for and things like that. And have we got to? And I see people like saying that
that's the only way we can win. That's the only comment. That's the only way she feels she can win.
So actually, that I'm glad you brought that part up because I'm gonna finish this one.
Go ahead, finish.
That's actually my second part is actually dealing with that. what when it comes to Monique, or have you gotten to the point where now it went from feeling sorry for her to now looking at her as you're the problem?
And that was his comment back to her on that.
Yeah,
And it could be very well because a lot of times we don't understand it. Like you got power with all these people with the common denominator is you.
and I thought about that because in the beginning, yeah, maybe Lee Daniels did do her, he did apologize for her and this and that, third. But then it's like, wait a second. Then it was Tyler Perry. Then it was Oprah. Then it was Steve Harvey, DL Hughley, and anybody else. It's like she has. I'm starting to think that she honestly has a problem with people telling her what to do. And what she has done, and black women, you are at fault because y'all are the ones egging her on. She has lied to y'all.
Keep going.
She's lied to y'all black people by saying black women by saying, hey, they're against me because they're against a strong black woman. But what has she showed y'all being strong? What does so every time, and this is one thing that a lot of black women have, they equate being mouthy
Be loud.
and being loud as being strong. Oh, I'm opinionated. But what makes you think your opinion matters? What made you think that your opinion was well deserved, or more importantly, needed to be heard? Sometimes, just like in this situation with Monique, your opinion should stay to yourself, and you should have handled it with your legal aid. Because once someone you tell someone to post their contract and they post it, now you want to nitpick. See, and see, that's how you know when a person can't win, you straight up, then they nitpick. So you went on stage and you call them every name in the book, and the second part to the thing is black women do this a lot. You say no, there's no good men, but then you quick to call us gay. We have to be down low. That still come back to us. You mad at us on you gay nigga. Why I gotta be gay? Because I won't subscribe to your bullshit. Yeah, I feel sorry for your wife. No, actually, we feel sorry for your husband because he got you out here looking like a fool. Because any other man would have pulled you to the side and said,
You need funky breaks.
yeah, you would literally have you are claiming to be blacklisted in an industry that you keep wanting to be in.
Right.
And cool, you one person maybe. Now all of a sudden nobody wants to work with you. And now you got to a point where who wants to work with you? And DL made a great point. He said, who would want to work with her? Because this is the threat.
Yeah.
If something she don't like, first off, let's be honest, Monique is not gonna be the headline. She's not.
No.
So, and she's upset because in her contract it said that, and DL just said that. But instead of you saying, wait a second,
You talk to the promoter.
promoter's right. But see, your problem was the promoter's not a big name.
No.
But DL is.
Right.
So you use that moment to attack him when you didn't have to attack him.
Yeah. You just announced there was a mix up, but you still went on and did your set though too. That's the other thing crazy. So otherwise you had got your money to get paid. You just upset because you wasn't the headline.
Exactly what even he said, look at the order of the ticket.
Yeah.
Which is true. Even they have lawyers that come out there and say, you know what, that was a legal issue between their teams and the promoter.
Right.
However, when your legal team is your husband,
No.
that's the problem. And a lot of people in the industry have said the problem with Monique is her husband. It's her husband.
But you know, Barty, and the thing with that is, and I say I can see why that is because I guess at the one point in her life, the one person that stood by her, uplifting her, you was beautiful, you were these things, and that's what it is. And it's understandable, but I guess at the same time, you're doing that with blinders on, not realizing the bridges you burned down.
Exactly.
You
And
know,
I tell people, you don't have to kiss nobody's butt. However, you cannot tell me you are having this much issue in the black community in Hollywood,
right.
and it's everybody's fault.
Yeah.
And the second part to this is, why do black women feel like to come at a man, I have to question his sexuality? Not one time did anything DL does in his life has he ever presented in that way. However,
No.
Monique wanted to be the first one to come out there. You know who else did the same thing? That female Jaguar Wright and a lot of black women. And it's always black. And this is why I tell people. And this is why Kevin Samuels got a lot of black men on his side because of what Monique did,
Right.
what Jaguar Wright did, Talib Kweli, and Most Def and everybody. You so quick to attack the black man in public as if you're actually working for the white man. And maybe she is. Maybe these black women are.
They're plants.
Yeah. Because why is it that all of a sudden DL sexuality had anything to do with that? It had nothing.
Amen.
If you were, but she's smart. She's smarter than everybody else. No, what it is that you are an agent for the white man. And I know people be like, well, you always say that, and you against black women. No, I'm not. I'm against black women who use the opportunity to go at a black man. Remind you, DL didn't come on and go after her.
No.
She went after him.
He did the
Jaguar Wright didn't go at Talib Kweli didn't go after Jaguar Wright. She came after him.
Yeah.
You know, a lot of you black women automatically go to that. We even see that in the hood, where black women, all of a sudden, if a man does something, like if he doesn't want to mess with her no more, you couldn't handle this anyway. Oh, that's the thing is like too much of a woman for you anyway. No, you're not. You just don't want to. Must be gay or something.
You know what I say? I be gay.
But that's the
Yeah.
attack.
Yeah.
When your best friend gay, your gay cousin, oh, y'all got a gay cousin. Think about it.
No.
Yeah,
I don't know, man.
yeah. All of them got gay cousins.
Oh, talking about them. I said, nah, I don't know.
No, but they always got a gay cousin and everything. But yet, the first chance you want to get mad at a man, you always question sexuality. It's either that or you say it's penis small. You always got to try to attack a black man's manhood instead of just saying what's on your mind. If I'm wrong, you can tell me I'm wrong, but you can't tell me I'm wrong because obviously I'm not wrong.
Yeah.
At least that's just my theory.
No, it's not a bad way to look at it. I mean, because a lot of times it's just what it is. The minute, hey, 9 times out of 10, males too. First thing we think about on a girl is the things that, that you didn't like, but you still was messing with her.
That pisses me off more with males.
You know what
I
I'm saying?
accept that from a female.
Yeah.
When I hear a male
Oh,
say,
man, his sex was trash.
yeah,
Yeah,
we're beating it up.
yeah, her box smelled and her breath stank.
But you was with her for 5 years. Dude, if you don't want to be with her, I did that. That when males do that, that's like I lose respect for males.
I had to, it's somebody in general do that.
Yeah.
Because
But I expect that from women, but from men, I think that's bad for men. And the only reason why, and this may be biased, is just the fact of, dude, you don't have to stoop that low. If she don't want you, she don't want to move on.
Right.
But sitting there and being like,
you just stop and name of things.
Yeah.
Of course. I'm saying.
like, man, you was with him for 5 years. You just realize that?
Yeah.
That's it. All right, so our favorite Tinkerbell, Jada Pinkett Smith, if I call her Tinkerbell,
Tinkerbell? Oh, okay.
she has yet to accept responsibility. And now she is quoted saying that she hoped everybody could heal from this incident. She's all about healing.
Of course. But, the whole thing with Dustin.
Yeah, she's all about that heal. Yeah.
She wanted to heal.
I need to heal, by the way. She's like she hopes that they can heal and move on out of this situation. Yet she has not formulated in her mind that she was the reason why this whole situation happened. And I'm about to ask this question. Do you think that's because society has giving her blinders to make her think that she's
No,
not
society don't
responsible.
give you anything. You develop blinders when you get to. That's something you develop or you allow somebody, not society. Society don't give you blinders. Society always has it out there front and center. You pick and choose to wear blinders, or somebody give you blinders. For instance, like you said, the Monique did. Her husband gave them blinders, so then I realized, wait a minute, you said they're attacking people who have a position in the business, and you're trying to accomplish great things.
Right.
But the same thing goes for her. She doesn't see herself as a problem. Why? She's a narcissist. Like, she's toxic, like I told you in the beginning. People like that are not going to sit there and look at because it affects them, but it doesn't affect them directly. Why? Because she didn't go up on stage and slap him. Her husband, Will Smith, did. Or she was, as she would say, Will Smith went on the stage and slapped him. Who's Will Smith? Her partner. That's what she called him. But
That's right. She don't really
right.
refer to herself.
Her partner. Keep that in mind as well. So now she's trying to do, oh, let's do a, we should do a come to Jesus and kumbaya and no, you know what? You should do that the day after or that night.
I agree with you.
That's something, like I said, she don't understand the repercussions. This is about to affect her because it started to affect the husband now. She about to be next.
I think it's going to affect her more so than.
Oh yeah, this is it. Will's going to recover.
Oh yeah.
It's just because people now are going if black or white, male or female. Look, people are going to stuff because the more she can think about it, Will has not said anything since he made this.
That was the smartest thing he
Exactly. He didn't say nothing since. Who's doing all the talking now?
She is.
Chris Rock may have said one or two things since. Who's doing all the talking?
She is.
And she's commented how many times since?
Oh, she's been all up on it.
And every time it's always about what happened.
Mm-hmm.
Her phone, and think about it, her phone has not been ringing like that.
Poor guy.
Her phone is about to be down to maybe one or two calls. And don't get me wrong, it's not that I wish anything bad on her, but people gotta understand is when you put yourself in that kind of position to allow something to be done like that in public in your name, and then you don't either try to stand and fix it or stand by the person who did the violation. Mind you, she didn't even say, yay or nay about the whole thing. Or turn it, oh, well, that's his thing. And,
Right.
you know what I'm saying?
I agree.
You oblivious to yeah, that's not cool.
Okay, I agree.
She about to blacklist herself. She about to be in there hanging out with
I think
Monique.
she- yeah.
They go to her and Monique will do a movie together.
I'm glad you brought that back around because this is one thing I thought about with Monique. And you just brought it and it made me think about it. If she felt she was done wrong, why she has not done nothing on her own?
That's the question.
Because at the end of the day, the person that's been holding her back is herself and her husband. Because if you could have been touring by yourself,
Yeah.
you got a couple of million. You could have been on as our great philosopher Kwame Brown, could have been on YouTube doing your comedy and all that. But
You're right.
nobody wants to work with her. That's the problem. And no matter how much 50 Cent says he support her, he didn't put her in a role. And I do believe after this incident, he's not going to touch her.
Hey, that's what it is. You can do whatever you want.
So we're gonna do something fun. So it's called The Shot Heard Around the World. Jimmy Butler. I saw the game. Did you see it?
No.
Did you at least get to see the play?
Yeah.
I don't think it was a bad shot.
No.
I actually think it was it had the same effect as if you would have drove it to the hole.
Yeah.
And I played it in
Now,
my mind.
now I didn't look at the time. My question is, did he have enough time to drive to the hole?
Yes, he did.
Okay. So that's the thing.
And three the hard way. He could have got three the hard way.
See, and that's what I would have did. Now, question is, what was the score of the game?
They were down by 2.
How many? Down by 2.
If he would have hit the 3, they would have been up by 1.
See, and how much time left in the game?
They had about, I want to say, 15 seconds.
See, you know what I would have drove to the hole.
No.
I mean, personally, I would have drove to the hole.
Oh, no, I'm not,
Yeah,
I'm not saying.
But like I said, knowing how Jimmy is, if he's confident enough, it wasn't a bad shot. It didn't make it.
So that's what, because a lot of people are like, oh, that's a horrible shot. And I said, well, if you looked at what the defense gave him, because Al Horford, so they stole the ball. Like, it was a great comeback, by the way.
Right.
I give him credit. It came all the way back. And the ball ended up in Jimmy's hands. Al Horford did not play Jimmy up. He backed down to the hole.
Oh, shoot.
So he had a wide open 3. And I think that's what people don't understand. It's not that someone was on him and he was trying to Steph Curry. No, he literally, like, Al Horford played that because the scouting report always on Jimmy Butler is he's going to drive to the hole. And that night, and just like the game before, he was driving to the hole, killing it.
Right.
So when he saw them playing off of him, first off, he probably felt disrespected. I'm not gonna lie to you. He's like, wait a second, hold on. I'm Jimmy Butler. I'm at 35 points right now.
Right.
You gonna play off me? And number 2, he actually was not bad from 3 this playoffs, but he was decent enough. I do applaud him for taking that 3. The question I'm actually going to propose to you is Jimmy Butler a superstar?
Ooh. He's close.
Okay.
He's close. I'm gonna say it like this. I'm gonna ask you a question. From the beginning of his career up until now, can you give me about 5 memorable moments throughout his career that makes him that actually grabs your attention about Jimmy Butler? Highlights.
Ooh. Highlights, no. And I can, and I will say that.
And that's the thing. And see, people gotta understand, like, there's certain things that will in your career that'll stick out that makes you a superstar. Now, he's a star, don't get me wrong. Because things that make him a star, his work ethic, his confidence, his durability, his toughness. That's what makes him a star already. But like I said, those are things that difference. Like you said, you think about LeBron, what makes him such a great superstar, megastar is you can remember from the beginning of his career up until now.
Okay.
Same thing about, you could say at one point Derrick Rose was almost a superstar. Well, he was there for a moment, but then his injuries got him.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying?
So I agree with you on that. I view it differently. I actually think, and this is gonna sound crazy, I think he's a superstar amongst superstars. Like, I think he is the superstar. And
you think he's like what, tier B, like tier A, or he's A minus?
I think he's A, and everybody else is tier B.
Really?
Really?
Like who? Kyrie?
That's Kyrie.
Hey, you think Kyrie?
Jason
Tatum?
Basically, yeah. Actually, I think, and someone else put this in my mind also, and I think Jimmy Butler and Steph Curry are actually 1A, and everybody else is 1B. So LeBron is a floater. He floats in between. I give him float in between. But I think, and here's and I'm gonna do Steph Curry next. But here's for Jimmy. I can't pick out a moment. I can pick out his success.
Right.
When he was in Philly, that was the best team.
See, that's one.
When he was with Minnesota, that was the best.
That's two.
When he was in Chicago, they were really a good team.
But you know what? You could argue in Chicago, because there were times he stood out more than actually when Joakim Noah,
right,
with Derrick Rose, and with Jimmy Butler. See, so there you go. That could be an even better argument.
When he came out of Miami, They were in the finals. I
So,
don't care if you call it a bubble, whatever. They were in the finals,
Now,
and
see,
they've been
but
consistent.
look what you did though. Those are moments you brought up that makes them the superstar you.
I think Jimmy Butler issue is that
But I think with him is he doesn't have. And I think a lot of people misunderstand, and I look at it as how he plays and the person he is. A lot of people look at it as does he have endorsements?
okay,
And he do have some endorsements,
he's not gonna wow you.
yeah, but he's not. That's all right. He doesn't have the wow, and I think that's a lot of people don't understand. I see where you're getting at, and I think that's kind of what in my subconscious I'm thinking that he doesn't have that wow when you hear his name. But I ain't gonna lie to you, when I put Jimmy Buckets on my team all day, every fucking day, you damn right. I want Jimmy on my team. That's what LeBron should be having on his team. He should be going after Jimmy Buckets.
So then that's the thing, when you look at it, and I even looked at it in this playoffs. Like every time that he was scoring over 40, almost 4 to 5 times throughout the playoffs. I mean, he got beat by a better team.
Yeah,
Boston is
it was a deeper team. I want to say a better team. They were a deeper
and
team.
they've been together. Their main core have been together for 4 years. A lot of people don't realize this. Like we forget that Boston been consistently in the conference finals for almost 4 years straight.
Yeah.
So the next person is Steph Curry, and someone brought this up, and they said, Steph Curry is probably the most selfless superstar you have ever seen. And they always say LeBron James, LeBron James, LeBron James. But they said, if you really think about it, Steph Curry's selflessness comes on the court. Because he easily could have won finals MVP. But he's not complaining that he hasn't won finals MVP.
No.
He has 3 rings.
No.
He's considered the greatest shooter of all time. He has 2 MVPs, 1 unanimous.
But it's one of those things that people like. It's the one thing you don't have on your trophy case.
And for him, and when I think about him, and he's like LeBron, and I think that's the issue. Him, Jimmy Butler, Steph Curry, and LeBron have an issue because they're consistent.
Right.
And I think that's their issue. When you hear people say LeBron's just going to average 25, 7, when they're like, that's it. It's like, that's not easy.
No, it's not. People understand scoring NBA is not that easy.
Exactly.
It's not easy to score 10 points.
When you hear Steph Curry hit 3, 4, 5 threes, and he has 25 points, you're like, okay, he had a down game. Who's scoring 25 points a night? Like, and you're saying that on a team where he does have other weapons.
But I think what people don't understand is the game, like there's levels to this, and I think everybody expects like the games to translate. Like you said, like for instance, look at your guy Brian Scalabrine. Everybody thinks they could be Brian Scalabrine. And he might be the best high school player in the world, but there's no way you being an NBA pro or any NBA pro, regardless of what they're
for a reason.
You know what I'm saying? Regardless of what your position is on the bench, regardless of what your position on the team, you're not being an NBA pro if you're the greatest high school player in the world. And I think people got to look at it the same way when you get in the NBA. Because remember, there's certain tiers to this. You got the players that are on the bench, that's going to be on the bench. The whole career, they might get a minute or 2 off before, maybe a total of 10 minutes a season, maybe 15, 20, depending on playoffs or whatever. You got the players that consistent bench players, but they'll like your Lemon Pepper Lou's, them type players, Jamal Crawford, their careers, they started here and there, but they consistently come off the bench, and that's been their career. Then you got those players that you're starters. There's always, no matter where they go, they're always in the starting 5 or the 6th man, something like that. Then of course you got your LeBrons and all that, and like you said, I think with LeBron and them, they don't have the wow when they play, it's more or less a wow when they with their accomplishment.
Okay, I can see
You
that.
know, and I think that's a lot of times what it is with Steph. It's like, okay, wow, damn, he's the best player. I mean, the best player on the team, greatest shooter ever. Like you said, three rings, two MVPs, league MVPs. But damn, you never seen me get finals. But he's not that type of player.
Right.
And it's not hurting him if he doesn't get it. It doesn't. It's not going to go out there to be the. Because that's the case on them times when Durant it's been a shooting contest between the two of them.
Yeah, and that's how I look at it. That's
You
what
know?
someone said that that's what makes him. I think that's what people forget is how much of a great teammate. He
Yeah,
is.
selflessness. Yeah,
That says a lot because he's still in Golden State. They're in the finals.
right.
You know, Kevin Durant's not.
He's having fun doing it. People don't understand that, and I think we take it more serious as fans, media personnel than the actual players at times.
I do agree with
You know, because you're having fun playing. Like Kevin Durant said in an interview, I'm playing a kid's game. I get paid millions of dollars to play a kid's game.
you.
Come on.
That really hurt my feelings, and I can't get mad at that.
It's the truth. You look at it.
That
It's a kid's game.
it is a good game.
Those are kids out there playing. Regardless of how old they are, those are big kids, big ass kids, 7 foot.
Yeah,
I mean,
yeah.
you know what I'm saying? Millionaires. You know, whether they ride the bench or they on the court every night, they get paid to play a child's game. And I think a lot of times we forget that too. And I think that's where we get lost at.
I do agree. So we're winding down with. I saw the N1 documentary,
Okay.
and I remember the N1 mixtape tour. I remember
Yeah.
N1, and it was an amazing time.
It was.
The funny part about the N1 is that history has a way of repeating itself.
Right.
So the N1 tour was the equivalent to the ABA.
Okay.
And at that time, what the NBA did was they absorbed the ABA and took things from it to include teams to make their product better.
Right.
Do you feel like that happened to N1 and ultimately killed it? Some players transitioned on, some, of course, a lot of them couldn't.
No.
A lot of them couldn't. The only thing won was Skip to my Lou.
Yeah.
Great for Offset, personally. The rest of them, they're actually undersized and
Right.
all they can do is dribble. But
Right.
during that time period, the NBA started doing a lot more or be a lot more looser to help, bring that in. You see a lot of that N1 stuff that they used to do back then now. Like literally.
Now they literally travel more. Like it's like I told you, they don't play. They don't play fundamental basketball anymore. Now they just, it's not even street ball. Even some street ball you have some rules.
Right.
Yeah, I see what you're saying. I'm trying to think what you want to say about it is there's some elements they take, but it'll never be the same product. Because the NBA is always got to be the cleaner game.
Right.
Regardless of how you may feel about it. Oh yeah, they should have this now. It's like the same thing with the big three. Great concept, but the NBA will never go to that kind of product because it's always got to be the cleaner product.
Right.
Because they don't want just these people. They want all people to watch the games. They want all people to buy the jerseys, the basketballs, the shirts, the hats. You know what I'm saying? They want everybody to come. They don't want a certain crowd who's used to seeing a certain style of play.
Right.
Which is not, the big three is an excellent thing to have. It's an excellent thing to have, which I think is a great thing to have.
Right.
But
No, you're absolutely right.
and the same thing with the N1 thing. It was a great thing to have, but like you said, NBA, like I said, always looking to innovate its game to take it to a different direction. And exactly what they did. Like this is with the All-Star game. They started doing like we used to do back on the playground. Hey, the two best players or the two first players to make it, y'all pick your team and let's go.
Yeah.
So I mean, you can't. And for instance, they added the play-in. Who had the play-in first?
Yeah.
The NCAA.
Yeah.
They did the play-in. Yeah, they played in the tournament. You play your way into the tournament if you want. You think you're that good. You think you're good enough. You play your way in. So I mean, the NBA is always going to do that. I don't think there's much more they can do besides they might add the spots where you can shoot the
4-pointer, like
4-pointer.
Was it Korean basketball? Yeah, like the
Yeah.
4-pointer.
That's that sort of thing. Or add another basket above the basket, and like
That we kind of like,
yeah, So I mean, but we'll, I'm not sure what could be the next thing other than you take it back to when the game when she was 3 steps after you stop and dribble. That's it. No, now you can basically run to the basket and you start dribbling.
I've seen that in the playoff, like they pick up the ball.
Yeah, yeah, a very exaggerated Euro step.
Yeah. All right, that's enough time for tonight. We'll be shooting for it tomorrow and probably throughout the weekend. So look out for us on all social media sites. Please check us out. We may be doing a hosting gig this month, so check out for that. Got anything you want to add?
No, man. Excuse my allergies and everything, man. Just a little rough day today. But no, I'm cool, man. Just thank you for watching. Share and subscribe, man.
Always wear condom. Protect yourself. We're out.
Oh, you endorsing Trojans, man?
Yeah.